Right then, here's a look at that 14-man team. Like we said, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Virendra Sehwag is back. He's fully fit. Virat Kohli retains his vice-captaincy role. Gautam Gambhir is in, as well as R. Ashwin, Umesh Yadav, Ashok Dinda, Suresh Raina, Vinay Kumar, Rohit Sharma, Pragyan Ocha. And among the young guns, Ajinkya Rahane has made a comeback. He last played in December 2011. Also, Manoj Tiwari has been retained. So is Rahul Sharma. Right then, let's go across to Sanjay and get his reactions on this. Sanjay, along expected lines, this team?
Yeah, no major shocks. So nothing really to talk about. Although we'll always find something to talk about, isn't it?
We'll always find something to talk about, because the Sachin Tendulkar conundrum continues even now. The chairman of selectors, Chris Shrikant, says that he's spacing it out well. Right decision, because there is a lot of test cricket that is coming up.
Yeah, very interesting statement from Shrikant. I think we have to get used to these kind of statements from Shrikant. He's always been a very interesting character, even during his playing days. So, when he says that he wants to extend his career and he's spacing it out very well, which means that the message that's coming through is that he's happy that Tendulkar is picking and choosing games, and also the fact that the captain and coach also don't seem to have too much of an issue with this kind of an approach. So, Tendulkar is right to do what's best for himself, and what's best for the plans that he has in the future. And if Indian cricket is happy with it, it's a happy merger.
Is it a happy merger? We'll find out in the future, because there are other players who come in and out of that equation, as and when Sachin Tendulkar chooses his series. But what about Ajinkya Rahane? Did well in the IPL, not a very good test series for India A in the Caribbean, but he's shown promise, and selectors have taken notice of that.
He runs much better this time.
I think off late you've seen a slant towards youth. So you can see that they have retained some of the players, even though they haven't really performed well in the West Indies. Manoj Tiwari, for example, has been retained. So a message coming through there that there is a commitment towards youth. Zaheer Khan's coming back, Sehwag coming back, also tells you that they're also concerned about winning. Because I think as I spoke on the phone in the afternoon, the selectors also very aware that they have to put in the match-winning performances at the international level, lest they're criticized for what IPL does to Indian cricket.
Also, I mean, they have in the past persisted with Ravindra Jadeja. That doesn't seem to be the case. He's not had the numbers to show, to prove that he really belonged to the team. But it almost seems like they've gotten over that idea of having a batting or a bowling all-rounder. I mean, there is no Yusuf Pathan, no Irfan Pathan, or Ravindra Jadeja for that matter.
Yeah, you're quite right there. I think there's no point in just looking to fill up the slot, with that kind of a job description of a batting or a bowling all-rounder. Irfan Pathan has been dropped on performance. Ever since he came back, he wasn't really, giving us too much confidence as a bowler, nor as a batsman in the opportunities that he got at the international level, plus in the long IPL season, that he can be the Angelo Matthews for India. So yes, guys have been dropped on performances. Ravindra Jadeja as well dropped on lack of performances, and I think it's being a realist. When you abandon an idea when there is nobody to fill that. If you don't have a batting all-rounder, bowling all-rounder, don't just fill up that position by finding somebody who somewhat fits that role.
Yes, now the good news is that Virendra Sehwag and Zaheer Khan are back, so that is going to obviously bolster the Indian side. But just talking about Harbhajan Singh, I mean, there were questions raised about whether Harbhajan Singh can make that comeback. They have gone in with 3 specialist spinners for this ODI squad, but there is no Harbhajan Singh.
Yes, and again, I like it when performance gets recognized, and there is a reason why somebody is selected and not selected, and if performance is the reason and should be the criteria for all selection, then I'm quite happy with it. Harbhajan Singh, in the time that he's been dropped, hasn't done anything where you would feel you want him back in the squad as well. That he's gone to England to play county cricket, I'm just delighted by that, because that is where I think Harbhajan Singh will want to get back to his skills, where wicket taking that's been the issue with Harbhajan Singh, not about the way he's bowled or, generally he's been steady in the way he's bowled all this time. The wickets just aren't coming by, and with that you saw during the IPL as well, his self-confidence as a bowler had dropped on many occasions. He didn't finish his quota of 4 overs, being the most experienced and
That's
with great credibility. So yes, non-performance has not tempted the selectors to get Harbhajan back in.
All right, my last question before we let you go, Sanjay, right in continuing with that vice captaincy for Virat Kohli, looking ahead to future, because there was talk of Gautam Gambhir getting it back, or for that matter Virendra Sehwag now that he's back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite happy with the explanation, given that they're looking towards the future. I mean, Gautam Gambhir is not a veteran, that they're not looking at him as the vice captain and a future captain. I thought IPL being an important domestic tournament, it's a limited overs tournament. Gautam Gambhir's performance as batsman and captain was tremendous, and somewhere I think that should have been recognized. But as I said, I think the selector also very conscious about continuity and wanted Virat Kohli to remain as vice captain. But I feel for Gautam Gambhir that he hasn't, that performance as captain and as batsman of Kolkata Knight Riders hasn't earned him the vice captain position in limited overs cricket. I'm not saying that test cricket captaincy or vice captaincy should be given to Gautam Gambhir, but certainly 50 overs cricket they could have considered him as the vice captain.
All right, so Sanjay Manjrekar going in for Gautam Gambhir as the vice captain. Not too happy with the selectors, but Sanjay, thank you for giving us a perspective on that team selection, the team selected for the ODI series to Sri Lanka.